here because I promised that I would, even though I'm not really sure what this recording will be like, but that's okay. Make more room. So for this lab, I just want to make sure that we're all kind of set up and kind of get us all organized, I guess. So what I did, first things first, well, I guess I didn't put them in the right order. I did set up a GitHub for us. I don't quite know how it works. So that's why I didn't want to set you guys or throw you guys in there, because I don't really know how that's going to work, but I set up a classroom for us. Do you guys have GitHub accounts yet? Are they making you do that? Do you know what GitHub is? Okay, so Git is version control and GitHub is one way that we could kind of see it. So I do want to try to get us into a GitHub classroom. The problem is I haven't used it, so that's hard. I have to learn something. I was talking to Steve he's in my office. You guys probably know Stephen Brown, probably. Yeah. And he's like, Emily, you got to stop making assignments for yourself. You should just make assignments for your students. So I said, yeah, okay, sure. Sure, Steve, sure. Okay, so if you have a GitHub account, I guess I could show this, this link. I actually don't know what it's gonna look like, but there's a GitHub invitation link that's available now. Like I said, I'm just kind of trying stuff, so you guys are my guinea pigs. Truth be told, I tried to try it last term and then I just got so busy that it didn't happen. So now I'm really trying it again. Couldn't figure it out. It's hard. Learning new stuff is hard. But what's supposed to happen is you're supposed to go through this link. Let's see, now I'm an instructor, so, okay, and then it wants you to sign into GitHub. And then once you either make an account or you sign in, then you'll be able to join my classroom. There's nothing there, but it might be a good first step to help me try stuff. And it's good. If you're not working in GitHub, then maybe this is like a good kind of introduction. We're not gonna do any grades or anything from it, but it would be useful. So the reason I want to use it is because if you're working on code, then I can just go in and see exactly what your code looks like. And then you don't have to email me your RMD file or whatever, right? And I can just go into GitHub and see your code, but I have to do some work before we can do that. But anyways, so, oops, let's close those. So the link here is just optional. I posted this lab. It's in Mom. Okay, and so for this week, it's a super easy kind of 8 quick questions that you're going to answer using R. But before we do that, I want you to go to the GitHub repository because I want to make sure, unless you've already downloaded the code from the textbook, then you're all set, right? But I want to show you how that works. So if you go to the repository with code from the textbook, it looks like this. And I am quickly realizing that I'm on my iPad and that's not going to work, but that's okay. I'll take you as far as we can go, and then I'll do kind of individual stuff. How about that? So once you're here, then you'll be able to go code. So up here, you're gonna go code, and then you're gonna go download zip is if you wanna work on it on your own computer, all right? For me, the scary part about GitHub is people can like see what you're doing. You can make stuff private, but I'm still scared, right? I haven't used it that much, so I'm still uncomfortable with people seeing what I do with their code, right? But it's good and it's safe. But if you download the zip, then you just download what it looks like right now, so you don't get any updates, obviously. But that's going to be good enough. Okay. I was looking here because I know we were talking about, can we get the PDF of the textbook? And I don't see it here anywhere, but if it existed, it would be on this page somewhere. So downloading the zip should do it, but I don't think we can. But you can poke around and see if you can figure it out. Okay. Wow, I left in a hurry, didn't I? I forgot the textbook too. Oh, here. So that's kind of the most important thing, right? Is downloading the code. So there's R code and there's Python code that goes with the textbook, right? So now I don't have the textbook in front of me, but I can try to pull up this one. Oh. Practical. I feel like it's this one. How do I get to the ebook? Did I do something wrong here? I think I picked, oh, here. Click here to access. So for example, where's the main one? Okay, so here, right, the textbook has all this code and also code that goes around it, right? Because sometimes if you just try to run this, that's not gonna work, right? So that's why I want you to download that huge zip folder from the authors on GitHub. So that's why I want you to go here to download all this code, because then in the R folder, for example, you're gonna have all the R code, okay? And if you prefer to work in Python, that's great, but I've already confessed that I'm not very good with Python at all. So I prefer R, right? That's fine. So, right, and then if you go and hit the R folder, let's see if I can get there. I'd probably go into the code folder, and then it has it broken up by chapters, right? So then you'll have all that code and you don't need to, copy and paste it or type it out or anything. It just is there, right? And don't worry, it's not cheating or anything to use it. I want you to use that code and kind of work with it and try to figure out how they've written stuff, right? And just kind of use it. Okay. So here, for example, right, the textbook goes through and it shows you how to do something in R, and then it goes through and it shows you how to do the same thing in Python, right? Just for kind of compare and contrasting reasons, right? You can see that you're gonna have to read a CSV, right? So hopefully, you're pretty good at importing data by now, right? But if you're not, you can copy that. And if you're using Python, then it's pd.read_CSV, kind of same idea, right? So you can make the connections that way. All right. So, and I think those are just .r files. Yeah. So these are just R scripts. So it's just pure R. Right, and so there's no markdown involved or anything like that. So if you wanted to kind of bring a chunk into markdown, you'd have to put it in the gray area, that kind of R part of your markdown file. So in terms of what I want you to do for the lab today, I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. Oh, wait, I hit the wrong thing there. I've made up completely fictional data set. It doesn't even really make sense. That's okay. We're just going to go with it. Okay. So everyone has the same kind of blurb, but you'll have different data, of course, because I've randomly generated it. And so that everyone's going to have different numbers, but the skills are all the same, right? So consider this entirely fictional data set, which randomly selected, in my case, 152 students. I think I got really fancy and made different sample sizes. I think, anyways, across the country, and asked how many donuts they eat per year, approximately. And so you can use R or Python. The answers are going to be the same, right? We start off nice and easy. You have to find the mean number of donuts consumed per year. Find the median, the weighted mean weighted by their age. Okay. Emily, how am I supposed to know how to do that? I don't know. Maybe that R code I just showed you. All right. Oh, okay, I can do that. Find the mode. If there are multiple modes, sometimes there are multiple modes, just separate them by commas. I should make a note of that here, but now I've said it to your faces. And then find the standard deviation of the number of donuts. Find the variance, find the interquartile range. All right, means you have to find the quartiles probably, or but there might be an interquartile range command, I don't know. And then find the 53rd percentile of the number of donuts consumed per year. Okay, you'll be able to check your answers, but it looks like I made it a little bit harder and you can only submit it once all of them, but you could try kind of entering an answer, submit. I think you have like 20 submissions and I'll give you more if you need it. The idea is that you get kind of 100% on these labs, right? So I'm not trying to drag your grade down or anything. It's just for practice, right? So let's see here. Maybe if I type in 3, that's the wrong answer probably. 0 out of 8. Okay, so then, but then it did tell me that it was wrong. 9 to 10, 19. I don't know what these mean. Anyways, you can play around with it. Like I said, if you need more attempts, I'll give you more attempts, right? But probably if you reach the 20 attempts, maybe you should ask me a question or two, right? If you're attempting 20 times. Right, so in terms of just getting started today, right, download that data set or all those kind of R scripts, have those. They talk about them more in the textbook, right? And so they kind of talk around them in the textbook. So you might have to link the two up. But besides that, that's all I want you to get done today. Any questions? All right. Then I think that's it for this recording. And then I'll let you guys kind of work on that and let me know if you have any questions.